Hi, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a watercolour pencil experiment. I haven't used them in quite a while, so you get to watch me experiment with them and see what I come up with. So stay tuned if you like the idea of that, and yeah, let's get into it. So I have spent today doing a little bit of an experimentation with watercolour pencils and how to use them. So as you can see, I have played around with some of the colours that I'd want to use today and trying out different techniques of how to use them. If you go onto my Instagram, you can see a time lapse of me doing this. I'm not going to show that today, but just to give you a heads up what I've done before starting this, because I haven't used watercolour pencils in about, I want to say about 10 years. So let's get started. I have drawn a few things already, so today I wanted to do some leaves, different types of leaves, because I just think at the moment obviously it's quite a big trend that everyone's loving different leaves and all the different shapes and that sort of thing. So I thought, well, why not jump on the bandwagon and draw my favourite leaves. And so as you can see, I've already done the pencil work, but unfortunately I think I went a bit too heavy with the pencil. I got a bit carried away. I'm actually going to rub out the majority of this just so that I can get the watercolour effect that I'm looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub this out. Yeah, I'm not trying to rub it out too much, just because I want to see what I did. Whilst I'm doing this, I thought I'd have a chat about, I guess, kind of what got me started using watercolours, or I guess my journey with watercolours. And I guess it all began when I was a lot younger. My dad has always enjoyed art, and I think for as a present, or I don't know if it was just like a one-off gift, I got my first ever watercolour palette. It was so exciting for me because I guess before that I'd only ever drawn, and I absolutely loved this watercolour palette, and I distinctly remember kind of using it until it was like completely worn down to the bottom on each palette colour. And I actually still have, I don't have that exact one, but I have the palette that I used back then, my first ever palette, and I just still love all the colours in it, all the possibilities that you can do with it. It's just one of those palettes that has all the colours that you need. So I'm going to start off with the bottom corner here. So that was my first palette, and as soon as I started using watercolours I knew it was going to be something that I really enjoyed. I've never really been an artist that's like super into detail. I've always liked having quite a loose style and kind of seeing what happens. I think that's when the best things come out, but also obviously that technique can be quite what's the word? Can be quite risky, I guess, because you never really know whether it's going to turn out amazing, or you know, you don't have a plan, so it could turn out a bit as a bit of a disaster, really. But I guess I kind of like that element of not knowing, and I just think it just helps, I guess, the process for me. So yeah, so ever since then I just absolutely love watercolour. I just love that it's so loose and you can pretty much do anything with it. There's like so many different techniques that you can use, and that's why pretty much all of the items on my shop are made with watercolours, but they're actually made with watercolour palettes. So that's why today I thought I'd try out watercolour pencils. And I've not used watercolour pencils since I was probably at school, maybe at uni actually. And uni was about, God, I'm going to show my age now, but uni was about, how old am I? About 10 years ago. just under 10 years, about 8 years ago. So yeah, I haven't used them in a while, and I thought, why not give it a go? I also shared it on my Instagram, and some of you said that you'd like to see a video, so here I am, basically. So have you ever used watercolour, and what's your experience using watercolour? Do you like it? Have you struggled to use, you know, watercolours, whether that's watercolour pencils or normal watercolours? I don't really know all the names of these plants. I think the key is with anything that's new to take it slow, even though it is really tempting to be like, I just want to do it. I am quite renowned for being impatient. So yeah, it's very hard, especially when you're excited to do something new or learn something new or try something out. It's very easy to be like, I'll just go in and do it. But actually, you always get the better results when you're patient, no matter how hard it is to initially be patient. Just got a little bit of paper towel to take off any excess. I think that's one of the main mistakes with watercolour a lot of the time, is controlling the water itself and making sure it doesn't take over your drawing, because that's not what we want. And I quite like how this is coming out. I've chosen to do something quite small, so it's a little bit difficult to really see the blending. So I'm going to do the outlines for all of them, and then I'll come back and show you how I add the water and how I experiment. So I am going to start the water now, and I've got just a small brush. It's a number 5 brush. It's not too small, but it's not too big, if you know what I mean. In the middle size. So I'm going to start off with these ones here. Again, being quite sparing with the amount of water that I'm using. And I don't want to get rid of the detail of the pencil too much. Quite like seeing that the pencil has been used, otherwise kind of defeats the point for me. I mean, you may as well just use watercolour in my opinion if you don't see the texture from the pencil. Trying to drag some of the outline colour into the shading on the inside. So a good tip with the watercolour pencils is, if you're looking for an outline to stay kind of true, to press harder on the pencil. So if you want to keep that where it is, and then if you shade lightly the areas that you kind of want to become a bit more like watercolour, that works out a bit better, I find. I might do some more layers on these after I've added the water to them, so kind of go in again with the pencils. The thing with watercolour pencils is that they do dry quite quickly so you kind of have to be quick. So I'm just adding a bit of the outline shade to the inside, because at the moment it's giving us a bit of like 2 separate colours, which I want it to blend a bit more than that. And I'm mixing it up a little bit whether to do the dark shades first, or the light shades, depending on the look of the design itself. That's the great thing about watercolours, you go in and adjust as you go. We lost a bit of the detail there with the water, and now you can kind of just go in again with a pencil and neaten up how you want it to look. So going back to my watercolour story from before, I used quite a lot of watercolour in my uni degree, and they're actually quite quick to work with as well once you get the hang of it. I stopped using watercolour for a while, and then a couple of years ago got back into it, and that's when I started my shop. And yeah, most of the stuff in my shop now is all watercolours, but I would like to do some different media in the future. I'm gonna add this speckled effect that you may have seen in the sketchbook at the beginning, because a lot of my designs so far have a paint splat theme, and I love that because it shows that you can have a bit of fun with painting. And I think a lot of the time when I see painting where it's quite detailed, like, it's amazing how people can get things so detailed and almost look so real, and it's amazing to look at. But for me, I just love drawings and paintings that have a personality, get a vibe of the person that drew it based on how they paint. I just find that so fascinating. I just don't get that kind of emotion that you can get from ones that are a bit more crazy, a bit more unique. Okay, so now I am going to try out using the paint spat effect, but I just want to do it around this one because I feel like this has a lot of character. So I'm just going to grab a knife, and what colour should I use? I think I might use a few actually. So I'm just going to shave off some of the pencil. Yeah, I think that adds a bit of something to that one. So I've also just found out today that we are going to be going to a craft fair. Actually, sorry, it's not a craft fair, it's a vegan fair. And they have all sorts of things, so food, skincare, jewellery, everything you can imagine, but it's all vegan. So that should be good fun. And I'll be there with my cards and my prints and bookmarks and stuff. So if you're in the St Albans area, definitely come down and check it out. It's on Bank Holiday Monday in August, at the end of August, a bank holiday. So there we have it. I'll probably scan this in, see how it looks. If I like how it looks, I might put it on the shop. So let me know actually what you think. Should I put this on the shop? So that's everything for today. If you liked the video, please give us a like down below. If you would like to see my future videos, then you can click the subscribe button and the bell, and you should get notified when I post a new video. Leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions for any videos that you'd like me to do. And then until next time, I'll see you later. Bye. Hoping that turns out good because I could ruin it all. And I'm hoping I won't. Oh God. Disaster, everything's shaking.